Welcome to Champions Card Club. My name is Cassidy. Today, we're going to get into some Elite Trainer boxes as we love to do. We do it every week, looking at the movement of them and seeing if there are some plays to be had, some deals to be had on these Elite Trainer boxes. Now, what really sticks out to me right out of the gate is the Black Bolt Elite Trainer box. $90.69. That's two more than 6-7. Two jokes in one with two numbers. Very similar. Look, we're down to 78 just in November. What is that? November 30th. $78 all the way up to $90. The scarcity is there already. 722 currently on the market. I wouldn't call that too scarce. But we see the price hopping up to $90. And I'm going to warn you guys, the ETB prices in this video, the ETBs are completely out of whack, completely not where they should be. The market calibrated and recalibrated, and now things are just, there is lots of opportunity in Elite Trainer boxes as long as you have the space to store these if you're trying to invest, the space if you want to display them if you're a collector. But these boxes are big, so keep that in mind. 8x8x4. Got to have the space for them. They add up quick, as you can see on the wall behind me. It goes over 10 feet tall. $78 for the white flare Elite Trainer box. Now, should that be $78? No, I don't think so. I think it should be $90 if it's going to be in parity with the Black Bolt Elite Trainer box. There are different cards in these packs. That could be a reason. That's almost certainly the reason why, because of the value of the cards in the Black Bolt packs versus the white flare packs. There are also 947 of these on the market, which tells me the demand is a little lower for these. How many are daily sold here? 14 for white flare, and daily sold is also 14 for Black Bolt. So your guess is as good as mine. In my experience, Black Bolt has been more sought after than white flare. Let's look at Destined Rivals, $127. If you're comfortable holding on to a box like Destined Rivals for a while, Destined Rivals is easily a $200 box. It's just a matter of how much is going to be printed and how long you're willing to hold on to this box. In my opinion, $127 right now. These are going to be reprinted a lot. We see a lot of Destined Rivals singles in all the different ancillary products. So there is a supply, a big flood of Destined Rivals packs right now, but the ETB doesn't seem to care too much. 139, only 139 of these left on the market. It's drying up quick because people are ripping these boxes quick. There are better ways to get packs, in my opinion. But people want to do what they want to do. They want to take those promos out. They want to grade the promo. It's a good reason to open, a good reason to justify to yourself. I think I should probably open this. I think there's a Mewtwo in here, and I think that's a PSA 10 inside of that Elite Trainer box. That's what you just have to tell yourself. And then you find empty wrappers all around you, and you've opened the whole box. And you look on here, and the price is up to $127. Only 135, or only, 139 of these left. These will be reprinted pretty dramatically. I would not worry too much. But yes, these are going to go down in price once again, and then they will again creep back up. Now, we do want to look at Mega Evolutions. We'll just look at the Mega Lucario, $81. Now, I'm going from Destined Rivals to Mega because Destined Rivals came out before Mega. Destined Rivals, in a lot of people's opinion, is the star of Scarlet and Violet era. I don't know if I would say that. I could see it being the star of the main sets. Specialty sets in Scarlet and Violet era, like 151, Prismatic Evolution, I almost said Shrouded Fable. They are the standouts. The first two specifically. But Mega Evolutions is primed to start climbing the charts, and it's pretty basic if you look at it. Okay, so it's $82, okay? How many are listed? 368. By the time that this card or these Elite Trainer boxes have been in the market as long as Destined Rivals, this price will creep up just the same. So if you're planning on buying these for your collection, if you're planning on buying these to invest, this is not financial advice, but this $81 will almost certainly become $90, $120, etc. You can look at you have a perfect time chart now. There are variances in between these different boxes. The promos is a big one. The hits inside the packs are another one. The collectability of the boxes themselves is almost the biggest factor of the box, especially over time. Another prime example of this. Nobody wanted Journey Together Elite Trainer boxes, and I know it says 72 here, but the market value of this is an $80 box. These are boxes no one wanted and were offloading for $50 in mass. Scalpers got burned. Yes, scalpers did get burned. Scalpers who specifically flip, they were not able to flip this product. But people who were investors who held on to the product now have an opportunity. So, depends on, you could be a smart investor and you can be a stupid investor. Just how it works. So some people were stupid and they didn't know what they were doing. They bought a bunch of this. They didn't know about Pokemon. You do need to know a little bit about Pokemon if you're going to play around in these Pokemon markets. You need to know what people like, what people are after. I can look at a set and tell you if that set is going to be good or bad at this point. And frankly, it's not too awful hard to do. So, these have fallen to $80 market value. They were at $85. I see these sell on eBay for $95 all the time. So just because it is not sought after doesn't mean it's going to go down indefinitely. It doesn't mean it's going to be worthless. That is one of the benefits of having these in your collection or having these in whatever capacity you want to have them in. Because if you have these, they retain their value very well and they go up in price over time. Will it always be this way? No, we're in a speculative frenzy right now. People are speculating that these are going to be worth more and more money as time goes by, and the data is showing that that is true. Does not mean it will always be true. For the time, it is showing us that that is true. And in this current age of get rich quick schemes and corporations, stop myself. Let's just say most people are not playing the long game. And if you're able to play the long game, you have the opportunity to have success. Okay. $80. 355 of these on the market. Not that many. This price, this box itself being about $80, I think it's because it's a weaker box. It's a weaker set. But often with these weaker sets, what we find is because they are priced so cheaply, people aren't concerned with opening them. People aren't concerned with essentially destroying the product, taking any value they can get out of it and moving on. Because of that, the amount of these boxes that are going to be on the market also diminishes a lot quicker than a lot of other boxes. Now, Shrouded Fable is very similar. It is an $80 box on TCG Player. It has not risen at the same rates as Journey Together because it was not sought after. But it has still reached the $80 mark, and the difference between Shrouded Fable and Journey Together is that you could have got Shrouded Fable for $35, $40 way back when it first came out. So for it to be $80, that's double, almost triple return on that investment in that Elite Trainer box. So although it may seem like it's lagging behind, it's actually doing very well for itself. Let's look at Prismatic. Prismatic's at $123.97, and you may notice it was at $140 for a while. Back in October, there's a massive supply being dumped onto the market. And if you want an indicator of a massive supply being dumped on the market, look at all of these accounts that don't have the gold star. These are all accounts that are probably brand new, 86 sales, 500, 6 sales, 100 sales, 50 sales. They're just people who are going and scooping these up off the street. These are in Facebook's, in Reddit's favorite terminology, scalpers. I swear to God, I cannot look at a post anywhere on the internet. Maybe that's a challenge for you. Go to a post, and if there are comments, tell me if you can find a post that doesn't have someone complaining about scalpers in it, because it's almost every single post. I know people talk about negativity and scalpers are ruining the hobby, and invested bros are ruining the hobby, and crypto bros and sneaker bros, and all these fingers being pointed at all these people. But the people that I see that are the most annoying are the people complaining all the time in the comments. Who are these people? They're brand new to the hobby. That's who they are. That's who they are. $74 for Surging Sparks. We're taking a little uptick for this particular box. 113. What's our all-time high for this? $113. 869 of these sitting on the shelves. Surging Sparks, where it all started. Surging Sparks is where things really kicked off, with the Pikachu going to over $1,000. Average daily sold is 15 of these guys. That's a pretty high sell-through rate. We are just coming off of the TCG Player 10% off sale, so the volume's probably going to slow down a little bit here. It's probably going to continue to slow down until we get to the end of the year. Typically, what we find with people purchasing here on TCG Player, on eBay, or whatever, people are buying when they're interested in this hobby, usually for themselves, not so much as gifts for others. There are people doing that, but the majority of the movement of this stuff comes from people who are doing it for themselves. It's just kind of how it works. We'll look at one more here. Stellar Crown has been interesting. Stellar Crown is also a set not many people were wanting, but here we are at $92. $93. See our all-time high here. And we're actually pretty close to the all-time high at 90. Listed medium, $99. There's only 76 of these on the market. And really, it's a lot of people, it looks to me like, haven't really been selling much on here. So there was a reprint of some Stellar Crown Pokemon Center Elite Trainer boxes. That's not really going to affect this market too much. I think that's why potentially it dropped a little bit, but it continues to go up. Listed medium, $99. Is it the all-time high for Stellar Crown? No, I think Stellar Crown will continue to go up. It just depends on how long we're able to hold on to this particular box. I have a decent collection behind me of all these different boxes. I like to just have one or two of each as far as what I'm going to keep in my personal collection long term, because you never know what people are going to be after. Sometimes a sleeper set will come out of nowhere and take off. Fusion Strike's a good example of that. Yeah, you had the Gengar, you had the Mew, but it's blown up. A lot of the Scarlet and Violet, or the Sword and Shield series have really started taking off. We can look at that in another video if you guys are interested in some of the older stuff. I think Sun and Moon, I don't think I'll really cover, because the prices are getting to the obscene point, and there's not a lot of supply out there. A lot of people will say that, all these guys are hoarding all of this Pokemon product in their closets here and there. But if you look at Sun and Moon, if you even look at Sword and Shield, there's really not that much of it available anymore. And the reason is because you have to hold on to these things. We're talking years. We're talking 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And if you think about your eras of your life, in those little 5-year increments, if you're 20, where are you going to be when you're 25? If you're 25, are you going to be able to hold on to something until you're 30? Are you going to have this dedicated space for that? It's what a lot of people don't think about. And that's why I think saying that this stuff is going to be plentiful in the future, I just don't see it with how people's lives are today. Not a lot of stability. We'll say that. Thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Cassidy. This is Champions Card Club, and I will see you in the next video.